Hi, Luce. Let me tell you about the latest thing that we've just come up with in terms of importing different question types into Questionmark. Um, we found that we can import not only multiple choice, but fill in the blank and short answer or essay if we want to. And we're doing this for some people in the ADN program, but so I'll show you this, and you can see if this works for you. It requires Respondus, and we've got a license for Respondus, so we can get you that if you don't already have it. But let me just walk you through the process, and you can see what you think. Notice I've got a text file right here where the questions will reside, much like we do in the other process. Um, it's And so you can see that I've got a multiple choice question up here. If you import multiple choice this way, you really don't, even though this looks like a true false, it's actually the same as a multiple choice. You don't have to really do anything in terms of telling it the question type. You just have to highlight the correct answer with an asterisk. Then for fill in the blanks, notice the format is here. You have to put type, colon, and then a space, and then an F. You put the question, and then you can put the answer down here with a letter in front of it. And you can see in question 3, if you have multiple spellings or variations where you want to give the student credit for putting in a form of the right answer that is equivalent, in this particular case maybe a different spelling, and you want to give credit for that, then you can have multiples of these, and you just keep putting the letters down here for as many different options as you want. And then for an essay or short answer, you just have type E, and you just basically put the question there, and the students will get a text box to actually grade it. Obviously, that'll have to be graded by hand. And the fill in the blanks will typically have to be inspected. A lot of times you inspect those because they might put something that's close, unless you want to hold them to spelling, and then it'll have to be what it is, and you can depend on the computer to grade it. Okay, the software to grade it. So here's the quirk in all this. This question I put up here, I called it dummy question. We found that we have to put a question up here that we know is not going to work, because what happens is Respondus puts out appropriate an XML code. This is actually allows you to import in the Questionmark as a QTI XML file, and that's easy to do, but the problem is Questionmark is not recognizing the XML that Respondus is generating, and I think that's a Questionmark problem. We don't have any real way to fix that. We're not going to be on Questionmark that much longer anyway, so all we have to do is I put a dummy question up here that is just going to be a fill in the blank. What happens is when this is generated, the XML is not correct, and Questionmark rejects the first question, but all the other ones it pulls in just fine. So I've just got this dummy question up here that will be rejected by Questionmark, and the rest of these should be just fine. So anyway, so that I've got my example text file here, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that that is saved, and I've got this saved in the Perception 5 folder. You can save it wherever you want to. And then I'm going to go to Respondus and go to the Start tab and select as your personality IMS QTI 1.1. Okay, and then come in and do an import questions, and you're going to have to select plain text right here. For the file name, I'm going to go into Perception 5, and I've got this file is called fill in the blank example. I'm going to select that. Then I've got to create a new document within Respondus, and I'll just call this FIB example. You'll have to give it a name. And then I'll click preview, and notice it gave me a warning. It says there are 1 duplicate question numbers. I had 2 questions numbered number 1. This is just a warning. It's no big deal. You don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to click finish, and the file has been saved within Respondus. Here are the questions that Respondus read and imported. Notice my dummy question just fine. Now the next thing, I come over here to preview and publish, and I'm going to save the QTI XML file. However, first you may want to do the preview and just preview the questions. the dummy question's fine. Notice here's what it's going to look like to the student in terms of the fill in the blank. And I just can walk through those quickly to see that everything looks okay. There's the essay question. And so if that looks good, you can close. Come back and click on Save QTI XML File. I need to make sure that I click points as decimal numbers, because that's the way I think you guys do your exams for importing into Questionmark, and then a QTI XML file, not a zip file. Okay, so select the top radio button for each of these options and click Save As. And there's the name. It's going to be FIB fill in the blank example. I'm typically will put these into Perception 5, and I've been playing around with Respondus importing right here, so you can put this anywhere, but I'm going to put it in here. And notice what's going to happen when I save this is it's going to create a folder, and you'll see in a minute that the XML file is going to be underneath this folder. Okay, so I'm done with Respondus. I've got the XML file ready, and it's ready to be imported into Questionmark. So I can go ahead and minimize this. I'm going to bring up Authoring Manager. I've already got a topic that I'm using right there. You'll need to create one, and I'm going to go to Manage Items just like we've done before. Import, except I'm not going to import ASCII. I'm going to import QTI XML. Now I just need to go out and find that folder that I just did, and remember it's under Perception 5, and in my case, Respondus import test, and FIB example is what I saved. That's a folder. I go underneath that folder. There's the XML file that was generated by Respondus. I click open on that, and it imported the 4 questions. Notice the one that was at the top got left out. That multiple choice at the top was left out, and there you go. I can try this one out, and you can see that that's what it's going to look like to the student. So let me know if you have any questions on this. Hopefully this will be helpful to you. If you need Respondus, let me know as well. Okay, thanks.